Today we're talking about Splitgate. And if you're not already on the Splitgate hype, I'd highly recommend you give it a go. But today I'm going to be giving you guys my best tips to help you dominate in Splitgate, whether it be pubs or in ranked. And hopefully this will help some of you that may be struggling to get to grips with the mechanics or just having a hard time in Splitgate. So tip number one, of course, this game is revolving around portals, and using your portals for movement is the best thing you can do. Traversing the map as fast as possible with your portals, getting the sneak up on enemies, managing to get behind them, managing to get to the flags, managing to get to where you need to be as fast as possible, and even getting away from enemies if you need to. And this is where you're going to be harder to hit, you're going to be harder to track, and this is where you're going to be able to sneak up on people, like I say, and drop some more kills. So you need to get to grips with using your portals more and remembering obviously which portal you're shooting where. That's one I still struggle with, but just trying to remember obviously where my yellow portal is and where my purple portal is, and just using those to get around the map as fast as possible as it's sort of meant to be. You know, if your flag's getting taken and you want to get there as fast as possible rather than just running there, leave a portal at the flag, and then, you know, you have the backup portal potentially if the enemy doesn't take it down. You have a backup portal and you can just hit, you know, if you're in the middle of the map, you can just hit your other portal and take you straight back to the flag to take down the enemy that might be capturing the flag. So really work on getting to grips with your portals. There's the racist mode as well to sort of work on your portal movement and just understand the maps and get around them as fast as possible. My second tip, of course, does revolve around more portals, and this is shooting your enemies through portals. Now, this can really catch people off guard because obviously enemies can't actually see through your portals, but you can. So if you plant one on the other side of their spawn and you have your spawn, particularly on Stadium, this is a big one, or the top and bottom of the levels where the AOC flag may be if you play Domination. Planting them on the wall allows you to shoot the people who might be capturing the flag without them able to see you. So it makes a huge difference, and it does allow for some easy kills, and it is quite a nice thing to do. So I do this a lot when playing Domination. You know, I plant them on the flags and then I'll try plant one near me, and it gives me a view of the flag before sort of rushing in, and it gives me a chance to get a few shots on someone or potentially take them out if they're trying to capture the flag. And of course that links back to my previous tip of potentially having a portal on your base flag or a flag that you're trying to defend. My third tip, and this will be my last one about portals, I promise, this is just making sure you destroy your enemy portals with your EMP grenades. So if you're in standard controls, it is mapped to down on controller. I'm not sure what it is on PC, but it's down on the D-pad on controller. And this only affects enemy portals. It doesn't affect actual enemies if you've been trying to grenade people. But it just destroys their portal and stops them from sort of sneaking up on you, or if they have a portal and a flag, like I say, and they're trying to defend it, means they can't shoot you through it. And just taking that out means you can't get caught off guard, and it removes the option for them to sort of travel around as fast as possible, and sort of gives you that advantage when you are capturing flags so you can't get caught off guard. And my fourth tip here would be to always be on the move around the map, and especially always on the move while fighting. Don't be standing still. I like to jump around a lot while I'm fighting. It makes me a lot harder to hit. Makes it also easier for them makes it easier for me to shoot at their head as well. So obviously we want to be going for headshots. It does deal them more damage and obviously will kill your opponent quicker. I'm constantly sort of moving around. There's no crouch spamming or anything like that if you're used to it from Apex. So jumping is the best thing you can do. Getting to grips with your jetpack and your movement mechanics. And just making yourself harder to hit. So always being on the move as well. So obviously this is a really fast-paced game, and you don't want to be sat in a corner just camping. You want to be always on the move, trying to take out your enemies, trying to play the objective. It is of course a team-based game, and trying to get the objectives and win your team will obviously give you the win, but also more ELO if you are playing ranked. So moving on from the moving while fighting, it kind of links into the controller setup and how you might be using your controls. So for me personally, my controls, I have my jump mapped to L1, and because I don't have a scuff, I have a standard PlayStation controller. This actually allows me to be able to shoot and jump at the same time, making me harder to hit. And this also means my portals are sort of easier to map because I can have one portal on X and one portal on R1. And this is sort of my compromise for not having a scuff or a controller with back buttons, and just changing your controls. Now there is custom settings, changing that to sort of be more suitable to how you want to play will really help you. I'd stay away from the default settings. I mean, having jump on L1 did get me used to jumping around much better. It took a little while to get used to, but it was so worth it, because now, you know, I don't see a lot of people doing it. They're not really jumping around, because if your thumbs on X trying to use your jetpack, but then you're also trying to control your aim stick and shoot at the same time, a lot of people get overwhelmed by it. So having that on a different button can really help you out, and it means you can also aim and shoot people while jumping around, which is why I absolutely love it. Do try it out for yourself. Obviously you can see, you know, my controls, but do try it out for yourself. Try something different that you feel comfortable with as well though, but having that ability to jump and shoot would be really beneficial. My 6th tip for you guys is to think about the weapons and situation you're in with the weapon you're using. I've seen people try and rocket me up close and they just end up killing themselves at the same time. I've seen people trying to use carbines in close quarter situation. Now the carbine's great, but I absolutely don't like using it. I much prefer the battle rifle, and then up close I'd rather use my pistol. But the pistol, it honestly feels absolutely great up close. Obviously if I have an SMG or a shotgun, I'd much rather use that, but I just try avoid using obviously the longer range weapons up close. The sniper, however, feels great up close for me. I'm not sure about you guys, but to me, I absolutely love using the sniper rifle up close. But just being aware of the fights you're going to take and having that sort of weapon ready for that fight can be really useful. And I've seen people just running around with pistols on Stadium before, just because they're really fast firing and really easy to deal damage with compared to the carbine, because obviously that's a bit slower to fire. Although it does deal a bit more damage to the face, it's a lot slower to fire, and you've got to sort of weigh up that benefit of, is that going to be worth it? Now my final tip for you guys is not to ADS at all. If you've come from other shooters such as Call of Duty or Apex Legends, ADSing is huge, and in this game there's no benefit to ADSing at all. You can hip fire from long range, you can hip fire from short range. There's absolutely no benefit to ADSing at all. You might want to do it for snipers if you want to get a cleaner shot, but up close or mid-range, you actually don't need to be ADSing at all. In most games I'm playing, I'm barely ever ADSing. I don't think it's needed at all, and obviously it allows you to be more fluid and allows you to switch between enemies a little faster and just get around the map as soon as possible, because you want to deal that fight and maybe get out there in case another teammate is coming or someone's heard the fight and they're coming to back up the flag or something like that. You never know. It's really fast paced, so utilizing that extra movement and that less time being in an ADS is way more beneficial. So that's my 7 tips for helping you guys improve in Splitgate. I know I seem to have gone through these quite fast, but if there's anything you're unsure on, please do drop a comment in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and if you have any extra tips, do also drop them as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit that subscribe button. But for now guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.